Hey there folks, welcome back to the I Am CDB project. I, of course, am your host CDB. You are not. And today we're going to use the Blackland Razors Vector again, which you see here. And I'm going to give you some good news on a giveaway for this very razor. So stay tuned and follow along. And somewhere towards the end, I'll tell you how you can enter to win this Blackland Razors Vector, which is of course courtesy of Blackland Razors. As I explained to you before, when companies send me something and they don't want me to send it back, or they allow me to give it away, I'll surely give it away to you guys, and this one is no exception. So just hold on the method of entering to win. We're also going to use the St. James of London Mandarin and Patchouli, which is an excellent cream. If you've never tried St. James of London creams, give it a shot. It is good stuff. We'll go ahead and wet the face while we're yapping here. If you missed the videos on the Blackland Razors Vector, I recommend you go back and check them out. I've done a couple of videos on it and an actual shave with it yesterday. We're using the RazoRock 400 here today. This one is the aluminum handled one, which, you know, I really prefer the acrylic, or excuse me, plastic, whatever it is, handle. The aluminum feels a little unbalanced to me, but it's still, I love the knot, and it's a great value. The RazoRock brushes are hard to beat in value, I gotta tell you. And this cream is also hard to beat. It's really excellent. It's right there with, you know, True Fit and Hill and Castle Forbes and all that kind of stuff. And the guy Todd from St. James of London is a really nice gentleman. So check some of his wares out. I think you'll find it's good stuff. They have a really nice sandalwood in this cream. And they also have a lime, I want to say lime and pepper or something like that. But anyway, they're all good. I think they have about 5 cents or so, and they're all pretty doggone good. I like them a lot. Okay, looks like that's good enough. And we'll give it another go today with the Blackland Razors Vector, of course, which you see again here. And again, I want to call your attention to the fact that one of the things about these Artist Club style razors is that they're very wide. So when you use it on your face like so, you really get a lot of real estate rather quickly. And the Vector in particular, since it's so narrow from front to back, it feels very nimble. So you can just really get in tight spots. Like if you needed to get under your nose or something, this guy's going to fit. Whereas a lot of the razors of this style feel a lot more cumbersome. And this one happens to be stainless steel, and yet it doesn't feel super heavy because of that head, that very slim head. And I think that is, I believe, what Shane at Blackland was going for, and he has certainly pulled it off. This razor is also fairly efficient. I'd call it medium. I don't know if I'd call it super aggressive, but I think if you're concerned or have a heavy beard, that maybe it's not aggressive enough. I think for most people it will be. Now, you could be an exception to that. You know, everybody's different. But so far, it seems to do a really nice job without seeming overly threatening. So I'd call it medium, and maybe, you know, on the medium scale, you know, it's not at the entry level of medium, maybe a little above where medium starts. But it does a nice job. At least I've had a good look with it. Stand by for a minute. I want to get another single edge razor of this type and show you the difference in the heads. Stay tuned. So I went and grabbed the Hawk so I could compare these heads to you. And I love this razor, by the way. It's aluminum, so it still feels very light. But look at the difference in the size of those heads. And I hope that's coming across well on the camera. This one is less than half the size, maybe even a third if you take this from bottom all the way up to its tallest point. Almost like 3 of those, where that one is extremely narrow. And that's probably the best example I can give you. Still love this razor. In aluminum, it feels still great, but it still feels great. But if this were stainless, and I've had a stainless one, it felt a little cumbersome for me, which is why I ended up keeping the aluminum one. Really like it. But this one here, as you can see, definitely is a lot slimmer. And so it has some benefits in mobility by virtue of that sleek nature, or at least I think so. You can try it yourself and see what you think. Again, it is, you know, a premium offering, machined here in the United States, and I always try to mention that because that is important to people. Some people want a product that's designed and machined here in the US, and this Blackland Razor's Vector is, and so keep that in mind. And it also will explain some of the costs, folks. It's just not inexpensive to machine stuff here in the US. Does cost generally a little more than, you know, having it done in other places, and certainly takes a lot of time. And so we take our hats off to those who choose to manufacture their products here in the US, and usually it costs a little more money to do so, but we certainly appreciate that. All right, the Vector now back in action here. And it just feels really nice, to tell you the truth. Really smooth. The first couple of shaves with this blade, as I was mentioning yesterday, wasn't as smooth as I'd like, but yesterday it really calmed down. And that to me is just the blade, because I have the same exact experience sometimes when I put a Artist Club Professional in the Hawk or any other single edge razor. It just sort of calms down a little bit once you get a little use on the blade. And right now it's exactly where it should be for me. It just feels really smooth and nice, and it's exactly what I'm after for each shave. Just a very nice, smooth overall experience, while still maintaining some efficiency, and that's what this one does. While I'm blabbing here, let me tell you how you can enter to win this Blackland Razor Vector. What you can do is email me at cdb@imcdb.com and mention Vector, the word Vector, which is the model of the razor. Also, if you want additional entries, and I'll put your name in the hat an additional time, if you follow Blackland Razors on Twitter or like Blackland Razors Facebook page, I like to make sure some traffic goes to Blackland, because he's kind enough to give away this very, very nice razor. And so the least I think folks can do is go and check out his wares and his social media social media sites. And so you can follow him on Twitter and let me know that you did, and I'll put your name in another time. And I usually put the names in a randomizer, and it just spits something out, and then I will pay and have it shipped to whoever the winner is. And I'm going to let it run to the 30th of this month. So the day before Halloween, which is on the 30th, I will announce the winner. So best get your entries in, let's say by noon Eastern time here in the United States, the day of the 30th. And I will post a video that evening as to who is the winner of this wonderful Blackland Razors Vector, which is really unique. And that's, I think, what I really like most about it. Of course, it's a good shaver, but I really like, I like it when somebody has really gone out of their way to come up with a new design, which is, I mentioned yesterday, it's getting to be more and more difficult to do because there's been so many razors that have come out over the last 5 years or so. And the room for innovation is shrinking, seemingly. I mean, maybe somebody will come out with something new tomorrow, but I've seen a couple of razors recently, like the Raw Shaving RS18 that had the lubrication strips, different design. And now we're seeing this Vector with the very slim form factor in the head, which is a new design. So some folks are certainly thinking, you know, outside the box and trying different things, and there's always a risk when you do that. But I think, you know, Blackland pulled this one off rather nicely. And once again, this doesn't put a dime in my pocket or a razor in the den here. because this one is given away to you, and that's thanks to Blackland. So I certainly appreciate Blackland because I like the ability to, you know, give this away, and somebody will be the happy owner of this very razor. And that'll be outstanding. And that's the way we normally do it here. We don't get things just to keep for ourselves. We give them away to the viewers, or we send them back. And so, very nice. And as you can see here, the St. James of London has plenty of residual slickness because I'm just going over those spots and no soap, and that's just fantastic. Really good shaver, I must say. So it has served me well the last, let's see, I think this is the 4th day I've used it, and it's sort of gotten better each day. All right, let me go ahead and rinse. We'll come back and do the post. Stay tuned. All right, and here we are back with the magic made by witches. There's witch hazel, and of course this is cucumber, which is my personal favorite. It is outstanding stuff. And while that sets for just a moment before we get to the aftershave, we'll talk about what we used once again. St. James of London mandarin and patchouli, very good cream. And the RazoRock 400, very, very good. Of course, my timeless bowl, which I mentioned to you from time to time, it's phenomenal. And, of course, last but not least, the Blackland razors, Vector single edge razor artist club style, which is up for a giveaway starting today. Again, email me at cdb@imcdb.com and mention the word Vector. Or additionally, if you want to have another entry or 2 entries, you can like Blackland razors on Twitter or like them on Facebook, and I will give you additional entries. This will be drawn for on the 30th of October, so get your entries in by noon, October 30th, and we will draw that day and give someone away this fine razor. Thank you to Shane from Blackland for allowing us to give it away. I do appreciate it. And we'll finish things off today with Stirling Pharaoh's Dream Sickle. Folks, Stirling makes some of the best aftershaves in the business as far as I'm concerned. They're affordable, they last, they have staying power, and they feel great on your skin, and they don't charge you $25. And that's a big time plus for me, let me tell you. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB. You're not. God bless.